I'm rather excited. I've bought a bandsaw. I bought a record power Sabre 350 bandsaw, a rather nice bandsaw. But I've underestimated the weight of it somewhat. I thought it was 88 kilos. Now, I don't know where I got that figure from. 88 kilos is quite heavy, but actually it's 116 kilos. I downloaded the user manual to check. The pallet that was delivered last week is actually 160 kilos, and is currently taking up most of my rather untidy garage, and I can't move the pallet. Now, the user manual clearly states that it's a two-person job to put this thing together, and I'm on my own here today. So I think the purpose of this video is to see whether this can be assembled on my own. That's all we're going to do today. Can I get this thing assembled? I've got the wheel kit for it, which will help. And it comes in bits. There's some assembly required, and you can assemble it without the really heavy cast iron table. So I'm hoping I might be able to get this together on my own, but I really don't know. I think this is a valid question to ask, because while this is the sort of bandsaw you may well have in a commercial workshop, it's also the sort of saw that somebody on their own in a garden shed might want to buy, and they may not have access to somebody young and strong to put the thing together. So let's go find out. Will I be able to do it? I've no idea, but wish me luck. Oh, okay, that must be the hose, and this must be the wheel kit, which is also quite light actually. Oh, there is no way I could lift that. I mean, obviously I can lift it an inch, but that could be a heavy end, but there's no way two of me could lift this box. So that's established that. It comes with a push stick. This is the table, and presumably it's quite heavy. Wow, that is really heavy. This is cast iron. This is the cabinet that it stands on, and I can't lift it straight up, so I'm going to open it and take out the individual panels and assemble it, and take it from there. And I can at least upend the bandsaw. Whether or not I can lift that end of it, I'm not sure. But there is hope. Yeah, it's on my limit, but yeah. Next thing is to get the cabinet assembled and read the instructions. It's a handy little toolkit, presumably with all the tools you need to assemble it. This is the front of the base, because these holes are further in. I think there's meant to be a lip along the edge where the door is. So these are 75mm back and these are 55mm back, so that's the front. The instructions are very clear on this. I gather these are the side panels, the one with the hinges, and the other's got a little hole for the what they call the door handle, but I think it's the thing that actually locks it. This is the left side panel, hinges upwards. This is the front. These are M8 20mm bolts apparently, and we attach them like so. Access is a little awkward. The manual warns you not to fully tighten until you've got the thing assembled, so I'm just going to take it till it's biting and then just back it off a little bit, and it just allows a little bit of movement in the side to position everything and get everything together. .3mm gap. That's a little bit awkward, that. See how it's pushing it out as I tighten. I think I'd want to put a washer on that. It's a similar scheme with the back as the front, but there are 3 bolts because there's a shelf in the middle, and it says to tighten these once we've got the back in, but leave these loose until we've got the shelf in. So that's what I shall do. Hopefully that just slots straight in. Yep, and then just tighten those. Now I'm going to fit the shelf, having put bolts in the front, and I've got washers to keep everything lined up to account for the width of the back panel. And now we tighten everything up. The only way I've been able to tighten this top bar without it shifting is by putting clamps on it, because when you turn the nut it tries to move the bar. But that's worked nicely with clamps. Attach the little catch. Oh, you can over tighten this because of the that's a little rubber bushing, and it'll flatten it if you're not careful. I don't think I can move this bandsaw on my own, so what I'm going to try and do is bolt the base onto the bandsaw and then lift the whole thing up and out of its packaging and out of the garage. The instructions say to have this positioned on the floor with everything on wooden blocks to screw the two together. I'm going to try and do it while it's still in its packaging. Wish me luck. Precarious, but I think I'm about at the right height now, so I'm going to see if I can get the top bolts in. Yeah, this is a little precarious. Okay, that's one tacked in place, I haven't tightened it yet. Can I get this one in? This was going to be more of a struggle, but we've got the top 2 bolts in. Come on. Moment of truth, I'm going to try and stand the bandsaw upright on my own. my next step is to attach the wheel kit and get this mobile, and once it's mobile I'm happy. Not everybody will be using this, obviously, this is an optional extra. These are the contents of the wheel kit. As it's not something that's got to go underneath the bandsaw, I'm hoping that I can just chock the bandsaw up on a block of wood, slip this under and screw it on. This is like the trolley end of it. And then there's an axle that pushes through the rear of the bandsaw and the wheels go on. So I'm hoping I can do this all with the bandsaw upright and I haven't got to worry about lifting the thing. Ow, that hurt. And that's not much better. I should have worn knee pads. The other end of the wheel kit is simply an axle that just slides through the chassis, like so. Who needs pliers? Yay! The light's failing, so we're going to leave it there. But I think we've established that one person can put this bandsaw together on their own, so I'm really happy about that. I have to confess, I did have somebody in the background just in case it all went horribly wrong, but actually it was all right. The manual does state it's a two-person job, and I was lucky in that the pallet was in exactly the right place and the bandsaw was the right orientation. If you had to move that bandsaw, you couldn't do it on your own. But given the way I put it together, it all worked really well. Another thing that I've established is that, just out of frame, up and over garage door, the bandsaw and its wheel kit will fit in an up and over garage, which was something I was a little bit concerned about. It's a very tight fit, but it will go. I think I've got about 190mm clearance. I am aware that I haven't put it all together. I've got to put the table on, there's a couple of knobs to screw on and stuff, and there's the setup of it, but that will be in the next video and we'll really put it through its paces. But for now, I think I'll leave it there. Bye!